To episode 22 of the Bazooka Kickboxing series, and we're going to be talking about front kicks, teeps, push kicks. There's slight differences between them, and that's what I'm going to talk about before we get into the actual lesson. So when you talk about push kicks or teeps, the way I look at it, and everyone's going to have different definitions and different ways of throwing it, and like all the other strikes, there's so many different ways to throw it, but I'm going to teach you the most basic way. So the teep or the push kick, like the word, I look at it as more of the push, using it as more of a defensive weapon to keep your opponent away. So for example, if Abiel is just going to hold across here, this way I can throw left and right, it doesn't matter. But my idea is if he comes in, I want to keep him away. I want to keep him away, right? That's more of my teep. Okay, more of my push kick, so pushing him away. Where now a front kick is more of like a strike. You're looking at it more like your cross or your jab. So Abiel's just gonna stay here now. So instead of pushing him away, I'm gonna hit and pull like a jab. So now it's more of a front kick versus push. Okay, so that's the big difference between the front kick and the teep. So we're going to talk, and it's minor differences between the two. And a lot of the difference between the front kick and the push kick happens with the extension of the lead hip. So when I want to really make sure I push Abiel away, I'm going to really force my hip through, getting full extension. Where the front kick, I'm more keeping my hip more compact. And you're going to see when I'm front kicking or teeping, it's all about, I like to throw it from the chamber. So the chamber means having it up from here and then pushing through. A lot of people like to throw their teep from up here, which is fine. Okay, that's more of your teep. But that front kick, I like to have the chambered style. So today's episode is going to be using the chamber to add the kick. The key things I'm looking for in this chamber is knee up first. With the knee position up, you're looking at bringing the foot out. When I'm landing, I want to make sure I use the ball of my foot. This way it's more of an impact point and I can be more precise with the landing. So I'm going to make sure I pull my toes back and really focus on how I'm going to land that kick. The other thing I'm focusing on is my back foot plant. There's two ways you can throw it. You can throw it from a very flat foot, so my back foot plant foot is flat, or I can throw it on the ball of my foot. When I'm up on the ball of my foot, it really allows me to pull my weight forward. So play around with those two, flat versus up on the ball of the back foot. Okay, and you're gonna see when you're up on that back foot, you're able to add more drive going forward. If I'm on my heel, it's more of an up kick. So it's easier for me to kick up. If I'm up on my back foot, I'm able to get more of a forward push. So play around with back foot, heel on the ground, up on the toe, but make sure you focus on the ball of the foot, and you can play around with it on both feet. So rear legs, front legs. So now Abiel is just gonna do, I call him the zombie, where he's just gonna walk very lightly to me, and I'm just gonna keep him away using left and right front kicks or teeps. Okay, just catching the timing. Okay, so now I'm going to hold with Abiel, and I'm going to show you different ways you can use the front kick or your teep to set up different weapons. And the one a lot of people like to use is the knee. So as Abiel pushes me with the front kick first, keeps me away, as I come in, I walk into knees. So that's one way you can add it. Okay, sometimes he keeps me away, and then when I walk in, he plays with the knees. Okay, the other way you can do it, and especially with Bazooka Kickboxing style, we like to throw a lot of round power kicks. And if you constantly throw round kicks, it's easy for your opponent to walk in. So if I kick and Abiel crashes in, he's able to come in. So you want to be less predictable. So after I throw front kicks, boom, I'll throw and mix in front kicks. This way, my opponent never knows if it's going to the leg or to the body. And you got to think about it. If I'm attacking the leg and he starts blocking that leg kick, boom, the next time, boom, I change the angle to the front. This way, he never knows which angle I'm attacking at. You ready? Yep. There you go, just some simple flow off of the front kick. So Aviel's doing a drill that you might see a lot on TV and people working it on different YouTube videos, but he's just doing a simple front kick against the wall. This way he's learning to toughen his feet so he can hit with the ball of the foot. So he's going to constantly change feet, and you can see on his plant foot, he's going to constantly change whether he's on his heel or off his heel. But a quick, easy way to develop your front kick, strengthen your feet. Good? So I'm going to discuss two different things I want to focus on this bag. The first thing is the hand positioning when I'm throwing my teeps. You're going to see a lot of people throw the teep and their hand position comes down, which obviously is not a good strategy. So the two different ways I teach my hand positioning is you can keep your hand position up throughout the hole, or you can slightly extend your hands. Okay, I can extend my hands, or I can keep it tight in with my shield. But I don't want to see you dropping your hands too much. You'll see some people paw the lead hand, which I don't mind either, but you have to be able to defend with your other hand. That's the key. It's a little bit more advanced when you see people playing with the lead hand pawing off to the side. So to make it simple, to make it basic, let's keep our hand position here. This way you can come over and punch. If I'm coming here, I have to bring my hand up to punch again. So let's keep our hand position tight. Also, those who are Muay Thai practitioners who fight Muay Thai, the reason you want your hands up, this way you can really utilize your elbows off of the front kicks, okay? So let's keep our hand position nice and tight. This drill I'm going to use on this bag, if you don't have a partner, I was lucky to have Aviel today, but this drill is just playing keep away with the bag. This way, as the bag comes back, I'm using it as a timing drill. Very simple, but let me tell you, if you've never done this before, it actually looks harder than it is. If you miss the bag, that's fine. Keep pushing it and just keep on going as you can. Now we're going to add some partner drills back and forth with the front kick. The most basic one, instead of using the pad, Aviel's just going to keep his hands here, and he's just going to keep walking forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate my kicks to his legs and then mix in the front kick. But the key is managing distance, and that front kick is going to help you keep distance. A boxer, some like to use the jab, where you see a lot of Muay Thai fighters and kickboxers use their front kick. Be able to use both. Don't always have one way of using a weapon for distance. So many different ways. Learn them all. Okay? So the last drill we're going to use for the front kick is we're going to have Aviel attacking with his punches, and I'm just going to use my teep to keep him away. So this way you're timing him with your punches. As soon as he walks in a punch, you keep him away. Okay? I could mix in low kicks if I want, but we're mixing. Okay? Keeping distance. As you can see, I don't take the front kick every time. Sometimes I block, sometimes I teep back. Now I'm going to discuss some common errors when throwing your front kick or your teep. The first one is not chambering the leg enough. And what's going to happen is you like to use the front kick when someone is coming forward. But what happens now is if they come in overly aggressive, if your knee is not up to chamber, your front kick's not going to do anything. So make sure you get a nice high chamber, and this way you can throw it from closer distance. If you're not going to chamber as much, it's better when your opponent is further away. Second mistake we're going to discuss is that hand positioning. Try not to get our hands moving too low, because again, if you're fighting someone like me who's really good at pressure fighting, I'm going to be able to get inside on you and be able to utilize my punches or my low kicks if you don't keep your hand position tight. So make sure your hand position is tight. The other thing is, make sure you throw it at the right timing. The front kick is about timing. So just like the drills we did, as someone's coming in, if you're not in a close position, back up, you can switch your stances. But make sure you put yourself in a good position to throw, because it's a very dangerous technique. If someone's crashing me and I'm too late with my timing, it's gonna push me off balance. I'm gonna be fighting off my heels. So make sure you throw it from a good distance with good timing, good hand position, and make sure you keep your opponent away. And remember, are you using it to push your opponent away, or are you front kicking to do damage? A nice front kick to the solar plexus. Take 3, final cut. All right, there you have it. There is the front kick and the teep. Very important weapon, because if you're constantly throwing attacks from the outside, it leaves the middle open. So the front kick is a good weapon to change around from constantly throwing rounds. For example, with me, I love throwing my low kick. So the low kick, low kick, low kick, when you mix in a front kick, it really throws people off, throws them off balance. So remember, practice those drills, practice with a partner, and make sure you get that timing down. If you're liking these series, make sure you put a thumbs up, make sure you comment, ask some questions below, and make sure you subscribe and share the technical series with all your friends. If you like these shirts, I'm wearing a tank top today. You can get them at bazookakickboxing.com/shop. We have t-shirts, wraps, and different types of gear coming soon. So thanks for following, and we'll see you next week.